Hey everybody, Simon here with Tech Visibility. Today I want to go ahead and do an unboxing of a product that I'm really excited to have. Part of our company, we do a lot of video editing and we need some faster computers, and recently Apple has released their new MacBook Pro 13.3 inch or 13 inch version with the M1 chip. Now this is a space gray 16 gig RAM. It's an 8-core processor. The M1 chip is supposed to be 3.5 times faster in CPU and a lot faster with video processing. The old MacBook that I personally was using had the Intel video card in there, and it had some limitations and restrictions in terms of performance for video editing. So I'm excited to unbox this and kind of give you an overview of what Mac is quoting to be better on this new M1 chip. Before I go into this video, go ahead, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. As always, check out techvisibility.com for the latest technology news and reviews and information on products such as these. So let's get into this. Alright guys, so we have the MacBook Pro here. It comes with a nice little plastic wrap removal tab, which is neat. Apple does a great job with their packaging as always, and a lot of companies copy them. Now this space gray version is pretty much maxed out on every setting. So you got the 16 gigs of RAM, which is the maximum this M1 chip could actually do at the moment. And it also has the second option for the 8-core processor. Pretty similar look to the original MacBook Pro I had. Let's remove the shrink wrap here. As you can see, this is it. This is how it looks. It feels exactly the same as my old MacBook. Inside, it opens up and turns on right away. Feels pretty much the same. The keyboard is different than my previous generation. This has a little bit more rise to it. So it's a little bit different, and as you can tell, it powered on right away, which is pretty neat. So here it is, guys. It's asking for setup right away. We'll get to that later. This is just an unboxing. The difference between this one is they actually have a fingerprint reader is separated, as you could tell right here. On my original MacBook, the previous generation, this was kind of all built in with the touch bar. Touch bar does look a little bit updated. Now you get your MacBook Pro information in here that goes over your MacBook. So it does have a FaceTime HD camera. I hear these cameras are actually not as good for the quality of the MacBook. Big difference, and what I find to be actually a problem between these two is the new MacBook only has 2 Usbc ports. You can see them here as well, and just one headphone jack. I have no idea why they took out the other 2 Usbc ports. I actually run 2 monitors on this MacBook or as external displays, and I find these get used up all the time, especially with the SD card readers and so forth. I've had 3 used pretty much at all times. So that's going to be interesting for me because one of them is for charge, the other is for your memory, and then you got your monitor cables. So I might have to upgrade the monitor to one of their newer displays instead of their old Thunderbolt displays, because there's just really not enough room to run everything. And I assume they did this because of heat control. Maybe on their old model the heat was getting too hot with all those USB-Cs, and it was constantly kicking on. The big difference between the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air is the MacBook Pro has a fan built in, so it can withstand higher CPU output because of the cooling. So you do get a 61-watt charger that's USB-C to USB-C, so it is the same as the other MacBook I had, which is pretty nice. And so we'll get that going in a bit. Inside the box, that is pretty much it. So there's just your charger, your MacBook, and looks like that's all they include, and it's pretty neat setup. On the back of the box, you have your specifications of what this MacBook does or is about, and that's pretty much it. So not much in terms of details with this model. Aside from what you read on the website. I have not got a chance to use it and see how snappy the processor is, but I'm excited. So just so you guys know, this is a M1 chip 8-core CPU. Now they're saying that they spent about $4 billion and many years of development to get to this M1 chip and get away from the original Intel i5s, i7s, and so forth. With the M1 chip, you're also able to run apps now on the MacBook Pro. So for example, something like Instagram is going to be able to open up similar to the way it does on your iPhone, and I will test that out as well. They are saying the M1 chip is 3.5 times faster than the Intel Core processors. We will see that with a lot of video editing that I will be doing. So let's take a look and see how that goes. One thing that they're advertising is this new M1 MacBook uses max performance at 25% of the battery power, meaning it takes a lot less battery power to power this Mac to its full performance. And they're actually advertising it to be up to 20 hours of battery life. That is incredible, guys. So if it lives up anywhere near that expectation with average daily use, that is pretty incredible. Up to 20 hours of battery life means you could pretty much go the whole day, work on your computer, and not have to worry about a charge plug at a coffee shop or wherever you could go nowadays to work remotely from. With the 8-core GPU on this MacBook M1, you're basically getting a much faster video processor. That is a big thing for me, and it can display up to 6K resolution. Obviously, I don't have a 6K monitor, but I do have some ultra wide monitors that could take a pretty high resolution. So we will see how those pan out on this MacBook as well. But I'm excited for the improved video card of this M1 chip. The reason is the old MacBook Pros had the Intel Iris chip, and that to me was not enough, and you were actually not able to upgrade that on a 13-inch version. Now with the 13-inch version, they kind of made it more of a day-to-day use laptop or MacBook, but some people were using it for video editing because of the size. It's convenient to travel around. Now I take this pretty much everywhere with me, and I connect it to 2 Thunderbolt displays both at work and at home, and it helps me with having a bigger screen. Their 15-inch versions are actually really designed with the 32 gig in memory to do a lot of video editing, and that's kind of the direction they went. But I'm happy to see that they're taking the smaller version and making it more video ready for processing as well, so that's exciting. The M1 chip is supposed to be the fastest chip out on the PC right now, and obviously without doing any testing, this is all Apple claims. So they're saying it's the 2 times faster in video processing than any laptop out right now, as well as a much faster chip in terms of performance. And with the M1 chip, what they're really claiming to be the best part of the M1 chip is really the fact that it takes a lot less battery to achieve the same peak performances as a different laptop, therefore giving it a much longer battery lifespan. Only time will tell if that's true. With use, we will obviously update you guys. So here is the MacBook Pro with the M1 chip, and it looks really nice. Nothing different in terms of design. You pretty much got the same MacBook design. The keyboard is obviously different in terms of my previous generation. There's more travel on the keys. You know, it does feel pretty much the same. I wouldn't say it's a vast improvement. The touchpad is a bit bigger, so I wonder with my bigger hands, will I be in the way of the touchpad while I'm typing? As you could see, it's kind of in the way, so I would have to angle my wrists a little bit differently. But overall, very excited. Anyway, I will give you guys a full review on this product as I use it a little bit more. I appreciate you guys watching. Please go ahead, hit the like button, and subscribe to this channel. Glad to share this unboxing of the new M1 MacBook. This is pegged out to the max with a 2 terabyte hard drive. You could also get a 4 terabyte hard drive on this model as well. I use an external drive for most things, so that's why I didn't opt for the 4 TB. Hit the like button, subscribe, and check out techvisibility.com, and I'll see you guys here next time. Thank you.